Hello, everybody. Welcome to you, my friend Maydad.
Hey Nadia,
Hi, how you doing today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good on for a Tuesday, our regular date on a Tuesday night.
Yeah,
And
it's always good to be here with you, Nadia.
yeah, so for everybody who doesn't know Maydad, he is a 54-year-old dad. He's been married for 16 years, and he's the father of two, a
Great.
13-year-old girl, Lelena. Did I say it right?
Leilani, yeah,
Leilani? Aliyah.
yeah, yeah,
Yep, beautiful. And a 16-year-old son, Jaden.
that's correct. Yeah,
Two beautiful kids, I might add. Very
thank
well,
you, Nadia.
very polite and very active and well-adjusted children. I love speaking with them when I get a chance.
Mm,
He's also the founder of Y&V Health and Wellness and the owner of Bondi Boxing Gym.
that's
And
correct.
also, the newest thing on our agenda is the co-founder of Honey and Handsome Retreats program.
Yeah,
And
yes,
I'm looking forward to speaking about that a little bit later on in this
yeah.
session.
How exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here, Nadia. It's nice to see you again.
Always, always. So we'll just jump into the questions, shall we?
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. So can you tell me a little bit about the work that you do?
Well, really, I help corporate executives and busy professionals overcome childhood trauma and really achieve work-life balance, which leads to them living a more positive, healthy, and a happy lifestyle. And I guess that's what it's really all about. And I love doing what I do, Nadia. It's something I really devote a lot of time to, and I just love seeing people do well.
You do. And I've seen it when you're helping people in the gym and
Mm.
yeah, whether I'm watching you online or I had the chance of meeting you in person with at the gym and no matter what you're doing, you're watching and you're always helping. It's great.
Yeah, it's the only way I know. Good
Yes,
habits, bad habits, you know?
it's a good habit, definitely.
Yeah, I
And
think so.
yeah, and how do you do that? How do you be so amazing?
Well, with the work that I do with the corporate clients and busy executives, what I do is we utilize the power of the subconscious mind, and the goal is to create immediate and lasting transformational changes. And when we do, it's just magic. It's awesome. It really is.
It really is. Behavioral science is like next level. And
It
it's
sure is,
so
Nadia.
so powerful. Tell me more.
Well, we really work with a person's internal view of the world. And that person's internal view really affects the way they feel, they think, and they react and behave. And I guess that's what really behavioral science is really all about. And we use all kind of different strategies to achieve that. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So tell me more about these strategies.
Well, we use a variety of strategies and different techniques and methods to achieve some amazing results like timeline therapy and so much more. In the study of behavioral science, there's so many things you can do, and obviously each person has a different persona because they've all been wired up differently, and their submodalities are geared up in a different way. So that's what makes the job so interesting.
Yeah, it
I
does.
love it.
It sounds like you love your work. And so tell me about what motivates you.
Well, wow, my true motivation. What is my true motivation? For the work that I do. I guess that, like I said before, I love to see people make great transformational changes and really become the best version of themselves and live happier and healthier lives. So I guess really that's what motivates me, and that's what my work is really all about.
Yeah, excellent. So when it comes to behavioral science, what do you think is the most evident today when it comes to building the connection between dads, especially, and their kids?
What is so evident? Wow, that's a great question, Nadia. to be honest with you, I can't just answer it with one quick answer. So I'm gonna have to answer it in a couple of different ways, or in a few different points, if you don't mind, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for
But
it.
um, let's talk about time constraints. This is really important when it comes to fathers being absent. And many fathers struggle to spend quality time with their children. And this is due to demands of work schedules and commitments that they have outside of the house. And this is what really leads to lack of connection. And that's really important. So, what we have to understand is time constraints. So, that's the first one. The second one is the emotional communication. And the reason I picked that one, and as you said earlier on, I'm a father of two and I have a daughter that's 13 years old and my son is 16-year-old. And their attention spans and their demand from each one of them, including my wife, is always going to be different. So fathers often find themselves challenged to express emotion and to engage in deep conversations with their children. And what this happens is this hinders the development of strong emotional bonds, whether it's time constraints, whatever it may be. It really leads to a lack of a strong connection and close, tight emotional bonds. And that is something that is very evident through a lot of kids that come to my gym. Their parents come and you see they come from a broken family where their mums and dads have been separated and mum drops the son off and dad just leaves him there and he's not really there really watching and he's left him there and he's gone and done his work and he comes and picks him up and that's it. But if I could say, the dads that really engage and make that effort, they're sitting beside the boxing ring, they're sitting on the couch with a bottle of water ready to give the son some water in between rounds and offer some support. So that's really important, whether it's on a sideline on a football field or soccer field or a tennis match or a netball match, or for my daughter, for example, when she goes and does dance. But the last one is the role expectation. And this is a really interesting one because traditionally, society roles may pressure fathers to focus more on providing financially than on nourishing relationships. And this is something that causes a disconnect in building a close relationship with their children. And from the line of work that I'm doing and also being a gym owner and seeing this firsthand, that is very evident.
It
So,
really
yeah.
is. And I guess one sub question on that is, how do you get that bond back when it's already lost?
How do you get that bond up? Well, let's start by saying this, Nadia, that family dynamics play a big role in both dad's and the child's life in a relationship. Um, and before I go on to answering this, it really, once again, it's not something I'd like to answer in one simple question. The reason being, if we look at behavioral science and evolution, three stages to development in a child. The first stage is from 0 to 7, which is the imprint period. And that is the period where a child models their mums and dads usually more than anyone because they're closest to them, they look up to them. I think the Irish said that if you have a child for 3 or 4 years, you've got him for life. And I think I've shared that before on one of the Zoom sessions that we've had before. And the second stage is the modeling period, and that is the stage between 7 to 13. And this is an area and time during a child's life where they model their school teacher or somebody in authority position like their coaches, their netball coaches, their rugby coaches, their soccer coaches, because they look up to them, and also their parents still. But then the third stage is a socializing period, anywhere between 15 to, I believe, 21. This is a stage where they look at their peers, where they're influenced by social media, by sporting icons, celebrities, etc. And it's also the time where they develop strong moral habits and behavioral patterns. Now, all that period of time is a time that is super important for dads to develop a great connection with a child or with a kid, the youth. At any given time when that connection is lost, it can have a very detrimental effect on that child's growth or their view of life. And in saying that, the first thing I would definitely lean to is emotional instability. And that is where a child may experience a feeling of anxiety, sadness, and confusion. And this leads to emotional challenges. And you see that a lot. I've got kids at my gym who visit my work, and I train them several times a week. And their parents feel that they're going to drop them off and everything will be all right. And this boxing will fix them. It'll fix their anger issues and instabilities emotionally and all their challenges. But it goes beyond that, because I'm sure you've heard this before. It's so important for us to block time consistently, quality time, and make time for our kids. And if we don't, it leads to all these emotional baggage and underlying negative belief, emotional beliefs that they carry through life. And that's something that nobody deserves and no one wants. The second one that I actually believe is, and I'm sure there's so many, but this is just my short list, and it's trust issues. And it's common in broken marriages, and that's why they can affect the child's ability to trust others and form healthy relationships, I should say. The ability for that child to form healthy relationships in the future, not just in school or out in a social environment, but in a soccer team, at work, etc. And it's a big thing. And obviously, the third one, Nadia, is the academic impact. And the stress of a broken home may lead to difficulties in a child being able to concentrate, encounter, how should I say, interact with others. And what it does, it results in lower isolation or even feeling a little disconnected, even resulting with poor academic performances and just not the great ability, not a great ability to communicate, and always feeling a little bit on the outer, not feeling involved, or having that form of validation that you felt that you didn't get as a child. And it's something that you usually hear, childhood needs that are not met. And the absence of any parent, whether it's a boy or a girl, the absence of a mum, the absence of a dad, really can affect long term behavioral patterns, whether it is in a relationship with a boy and a girl later on in life, or a girl and a man. But I think those three things is what stood out for me. I'm sure there's so many, Nadia.
Yeah, there are so many behavioral tendencies and traits and stuff that we need to look at as time goes on and as kids grow older as well. So, I mean, we're seeing a lot more where the kids are, looking at devices more because parents are not available, and not sort of aware of what's going on with them as well. So what positive things can you share about fathers having great connection and being present with their children?
Well, there's so many, Nadia. Obviously, what we've spoken about, um, with the father being present through all those, you know, growth periods, the modeling period, sorry, the imprint period, the modeling period, and the socializing period, even as an adult, as a young adult and beyond, it can only lead to positive outcomes in any relationship between a child and their parent and how they perceive the world. But the one I really, one of the ones I wanted to talk about that comes up to me is probably confident boost. A father's presence as a role model can significantly enhance a child's self-esteem and sense of security in the way they hold themselves, in the way they react, and their perception of the world. So I think having a strong father myself growing up and a role model really helped me. I'm not saying I was the most confident young boy out there, but I was able to integrate, play sports, and really, I never really felt completely on the outer, or I made an effort to communicate. I felt like I adjusted and amalgamated into my social scenes quite well. But the second one is positive behavior. And what this comes down to is that children often mimic their father's actions, leading to development of healthy habits and values. And this is something that I reflect on my life. Like, my parents didn't smoke, they didn't drink, and I'm not having a go at anybody that does. They never really had, there was no ever domestic violence. There was nothing of a kind. Yeah, they were screaming. Yes, they were yelling. That's common in the Middle Eastern household.
It's sort
It's
of
usually ignored.
unnatural if there is no yelling and screaming.
Yeah, it's just a normal conversation, and you think it's a fight, but it's just the way they communicate. But I think that's an important part, that to have those positive behaviors and good role models around you. And the other one I thought of was emotional stability. And in saying that, like, if you picture this, a strong father in childhood foster emotional resilience. This bond helps children navigate challenges with confidence throughout their life, wherever they make decisions on the soccer field, at school, in the playground, or even out in the workforce. So these bonds, these connections and relationships that we have with our parents really do affect the way we are wired and the way we perceive the world. And as a result, they set us up to behave the way we do.
Definitely. And I know you do a lot of great work with the kids at your gym, and you see all of these things happening, the bonds between the kids and their dads and parents and that sort of stuff. If somebody wanted to give their child an opportunity to get into boxing or into more of a fitness routine, how can they get in touch with you?
Oh, well, that's quite easy. They can either Facebook me by looking me out at Maydad Ronan on Facebook or on Instagram. I've got Bondi Boxing Gym or Maydad Ronan NTT Coach or Maydad Ronan, hashtag Maydad Ronan. But also, they can always email me at Bondi Boxing Gym or YNV Health and Wellness at hotmail.com. If anybody wants to call me, they can always ring me on 0402 622 662.
Amazing. And now, before I let you go, just want to let everybody know about the 2 retreats that you're running. So I'll put the link into the comments below so they'll be able to see. Click into that, have a look.
We'll just got to figure out the dates, but yeah.
We'll
Sorry.
edit the dates. We'll let you know. But the brand new one, which we mentioned last week, was the 𝙈𝙤𝙮𝙣 retreat. And I'm really looking forward to this. So that's going to be on the 21st of September.
September, that's correct.
Yep, 1-day event in Bondi. You can click onto the link that I'll leave in the comments as well. You can contact Maydad on all of the above details, or you can give us a call on the office number below that I'll put on there as well. But what can people look forward to in this retreat?
Wow. In short, 𝙈𝙤𝙮𝙗𝙗 retreat is a rejuvenation retreat for couples to help create more special moments and so much more from that. It's not just for couples who are going through rough periods. I mean, obviously, that'd be awesome. They come along and find out a little bit more. Because the great thing about it, apart from starting the retreat where they do yoga on the beach to sunrise and they come back to the gym, have a little beverage and like water and some tea and that, and then that's followed by a human movement workout with me, and then we take them through a vision session where we talk about neural transformation therapy, talk about the subconscious mind and behavioral patterns, a little bit of what we spoke about today. They go out as a group for brunch at an amazing cafe near the gym. It's called Up South, and they eat delicious meals from acai bowls and detoxing smoothies, vegan meals, and really healthy meals before we come back to the gym and we catch up with a really good psychotherapist and a relationship expert. Her name is Lizzie Abrahams, and she talks to them about relationship dynamics and everything that she's learned in the past. She's an expert in her field who studied in United Kingdom and runs her own practice with lots of practitioners working for her. She runs her own Zoom. She's been on national television. She's been on the radio. She writes articles for magazines. She's incredible in what she does. And only last week, her and I caught up and we took a walk around Queen's Park because we wanted to get some grounding. And that's how we actually initially met, when we were both walking. And I was doing some workout and she came over and said, "Oh, I like what you're doing." And she started talking to me about stuff and we become friends. And now we're doing a retreat together. So really looking forward to having her. And the climax of the retreat is obviously we're going to be doing a lot of team building for couples to be working together. And the couple that wins the team building competitions, they win a session, a personal training session is at the gym, and a few other things and goodies that we're giving away. But the climax of the session is they all write down a modality on what they want to break through towards becoming the best version of themselves and being able to give the best of themselves to the relationship that they're in. And that's really important, with guys, it might be like just being able to block time and come home a little bit earlier so they can spend a little bit of time by the TV with the missus, or just lose some extra pounds and just get fit, feel great. For the wife, it could be just being able to communicate a little bit more and feeling validated, feeling heard. And sometimes that needs to be expressed. And sometimes with these settings, it's the best way to do it, or a great way for them to bring out something that they've had on their mind that the partner has never really realized. But I'm really looking forward to that. And I know it's going to be a great event. And just looking forward to doing one in Adelaide later in the year. And we've got so much things we want to get through, but tick one off by one, and really looking forward to it.
That's great, and I'm looking forward to it as well, because I'm going to fly up and from Adelaide and see what we can play with and explore all of the modalities that people want to break through as well. So definitely looking forward to that. So next week we will be talking to Myra Fordham. She is a multi-international award winner and in the Aboriginal community in Darwin. She actually survived a traumatic brain injury and at the moment is traveling around South Australia with that promotion in her calendar. So it's Brain Injury Awareness Week I think internationally. So she's going to be jumping on with us next Tuesday at 7:30 Sydney time, just to speak about recovering and jumping back on the bandwagon. And she's very successful in what she does. She's got
amazing
books that she's written and awards that she's won. And looking forward to seeing her then.
Yeah, really looking forward to hearing what she has to say, because she's got an incredible story, as you were sharing with me. And for all the people out there watching this Zoom, looking forward to seeing you next week, listening to her story, because she's an incredible lady and she's doing positive things, not just for her community, for everybody, because we're all really, all everything we do, we're role models, not just for our own community, but others, because we all have ripple effects. We set ripple effects in everything that we do. But in saying that, thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. Take care and have an amazing evening. Look forward to seeing you all next week, Tuesday night, same time, same place, with Nadia Barkos from Chill Technology and me, Maydad. Take care, guys.